Mayor Collins,
Here.
Commissioner Blumberg,
I am here.
Commissioner Horn. Here.
All right, I will hand the floor off to Scott.
It's a special session of the governing body of the city of Margate. We are convened here to consider the employment actions of CFO Lisa McLaughlin. To that end, we have with us William Blaney as our labor counsel that has been involved with this matter. If I understand this correctly, and I have it in my hand, Ms. McLaughlin is here. I see her here, and she wishes to have this employment situation discussed in open session. You do have the right to have this go into closed session. Most people do. What is your pleasure?
Open, please.
You want it open? Okay. With that, I'll turn it over to Mr. Blaney.
All right. So we're here today because this is a matter involving a CFO, and CFO discipline is handled differently than most other employee discipline. It's handled by the State Department of Community Affairs local government unit. So what happens is if you're going to file charges against the CFO, it has to be done in a very specific manner. Charges have to be prepared. The statute doesn't say who can propose charges against a CFO. Almost anyone, it looks like, under the statute could propose charges against a CFO if they have the ability to determine that there's been some alleged wrongdoing by the CFO. So the process is the complaint is filed with the Department of Community Affairs local government unit. They will take in the complaint, they'll review it, and 99 out of 100 times they send it down to the New Jersey Office of Administrative Law for a hearing in front of an administrative law judge. That judge will then make a written determination as to whether he thinks the charges were sustained or not after a hearing where both the complainant and the employee could present their cases, call witnesses, have people testify under oath. At the end of the day, that written decision goes back to the Department of Community Affairs, to the director of the Department of Community Affairs, who will then make the final determination on that. They can either accept the judge's recommendations, reject the judge's recommendations, or modify them. They can also make certain determinations with regard to licensure, because it's a licensed position and they're in charge of the license. Okay. So in the instant case, I've spoken with the administrator who indicated that he would like to file charges. I have circulated those charges to each of the commissioners, or actually Mr. Moran circulated them about 2 weeks ago. Everybody saw we were supposed to come for a closed session approximately 2 weeks ago. There was a problem with the Rice notice, so the employee was not notified on time. So now we're having a special meeting to do that. The employee was away for approximately 2 weeks, which is why we have this delay. We're here today just to kind of inform you as to what the process is and what we're doing. Mr. Moran's going to bring the charges. If you've all seen the charges, if there's questions about the charges or you'd like Mr. Moran to speak on the charges, he's available to do that. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. Who prepared the complaints?
I prepared the complaint based upon information that was sent to me by Mr. Moran.
By Mr. Moran.
Yeah.
Who fact-checked them before they were sent to Lisa's attorney?
It was sent to Mr. Moran and he fact-checked them. Correct. So
Mr. Moran fact-checked them.
Correct. He provided me with emails and other materials which substantiated what he was alleging. So there was a significant amount of emails that he forwarded to me. So I did review them all. Obviously, it's one side at that juncture, right? It's the person providing you with the complaint. So they're only allegations until they wind up in front of the Department of Community Affairs and there's a hearing on it.
And did the Margate City solicitor review them prior to them being sent to Lisa's attorney?
I believe, yes, they were sent to him as well.
Solicitor, is that the case? Did you see them before they went to Lisa's attorney 2 Fridays ago?
I'm not sure about the 14 days, but I know I've seen them.
It was 2 Fridays ago. It was 2 Fridays ago. When I spoke to you at lunchtime, you said to me you had not seen them.
Well, at the time I spoke to you, I had not seen them.
Okay. Did any of the commissioners review them before they were sent?
They were sent
to Lisa's attorney.
Yeah, they were all sent to the commissioners the night prior to being sent to the attorney.
That's not true. I didn't see them.
Well, Mr. Moran sent them out by email to everyone.
They were sent on Friday at
Thursday night, I
lunchtime.
believe.
They were sent on Friday at lunchtime. I don't have the date in front of me, just so I can correct the record. They were sent Friday at lunchtime, where the email said, these went to Lisa's attorney. We will be filing these later on this afternoon. That was the first time we saw them. Scott hadn't seen them. The understanding is that they had already been sent to her attorney. I just want to try and be transparent here and understand the time frame.
My understanding is that there was an email sent around midnight the night before from Mr. Moran, and I think I was copied on it. At least he told me he sent it. And
so are you able to tell me whether or not any of the commissioners approved the sending of these complaints to Lisa's attorney?
well, they're not.
Before they were sent.
I don't know that. I wouldn't know that. I spoke to Mr. Moran. He said they were good to go. So I didn't speak
So
to
Mr. Moran said that they were good to go to Lisa's attorney.
And they were sent, so you understand, they were sent to her attorney as a courtesy copy of what would be filed.
But I would
They
have thought that there would have had to have been commission approval for them to go.
Well, they weren't filed. There should
To
be.
go to her attorney.
No, there doesn't need to be.
There didn't need
They
to
were
be any
sent, they were
commission
sent as a
approval
courtesy copy and a draft
to her attorney.
to her attorney. They weren't sent and said this is filed.
Without approval of myself, Mike, or Kathy.
My understanding is that they were approved, and Mr. Moran's the one who files it. It's not the commission that's
So
filing.
your understanding is they were approved. But you're not,
I'm not sure whether they were
Okay.
approved.
can you tell me, so just so you know, I'm the commissioner of the Revenue and Finance Department,
I'm aware of that.
of which Mrs. McLaughlin works.
Right.
Can you tell me where in the Walsh Act that my fellow commissioners have any
I'm not going to give
standing?
you legal advice in an open session. We
No,
have
no,
a
no.
closed session for that.
So, in the Walsh Act, I'm not asking for legal advice. Where do my fellow commissioners have standing in my department? Do they have standing?
Generally, under the Walsh Act, the commissioner makes decisions on personnel matters when it involves a strict personnel matter.
Okay.
In this circumstance, it falls under the Department of Community Affairs, and it's pretty clear under this statute that anyone can file charges.
Anybody can file a
Because
charge,
it's a
but
statutory
not on
input.
behalf of the city of Margate. You're saying anybody can file a charge, but not on the behalf of the city of Margate,
Well, that's why,
especially if the commissioner of the department may or may not be involved and/or on board, correct?
not anyone, like somebody can walk off the street or out of the audience and file on behalf of the city of Margate, but this is your administrator.
Okay. Can I ask you, who authorized the hiring of the private investigator to investigate the employee in my department, and why wasn't I informed?
You'd have to ask Mr. Moran.
So, Mr. Moran, can you answer that question for me? Who authorized the hiring of a private investigator to investigate the employee in my department without my knowledge and/or approval?
I spoke to our QPA, Qualified Purchasing Agent, and spoke to him about hiring the private investigator. I also spoke with our solicitor with regard to the legality of hiring that person.
And was there any commission approval on that?
No,
No, so no commission approval on that. So we spent almost $5,000 in taxpayer money to hire a private investigator for an investigation in which my understanding is the employee being investigated admitted to the charge. Is that true? Was she not interviewed by you and asked whether or not she had gone into the office to look for something on a computer?
She was not asked by me. She was asked by the investigating personnel. And she advised that she did go in after hours, used or looked and found the employee's ID, his sign-on ID, and his log-on information, and impersonated him to open up his computer so she could go inside of it.
Oh, so she got into the computer.
She was denied with the two-factor.
So she never got into the computer.
No, it was an attempt.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to give you my opinion on the matter. As this has been prepared and done, and I have been totally shut out. As Commissioner of Revenue and Finance, this employee is in my department, and this has all been done secretly, if you will, without my knowledge. I've been an elected official in Margate City for 19 years. As Commissioner of Revenue and Finance, I have overseen this department for the past 15 years, working with Lisa McLaughlin, the employee being discussed today. Lisa works with me in my department per resolution and the state law. I do not support the proposed actions and was not party to the drafting of these complaints. In my opinion, what we have here is a true failure of communication. Further, in my opinion, I believe this is a targeted attack of retaliation against a respected, long-time, in good standing and accomplished employee by my fellow commissioners, facilitated by a freshman administrator as a result of internal complaints filed and her managerial decisions. Moreover, these accusations contradict the opinion of our former veteran business administrator for over 30 years, who thought highly of Lisa's work, her work ethic, and her professionalism. Again, these actions are not supported by me as the commissioner in charge of the department, and further, I believe, cannot move forward without my approval per the statutes laid out by our ordinances and the state's Walsh Act. To do so would be a travesty of justice, unethical, and more importantly, a violation of the public trust. This is an exemplary employee with a great reputation and over a 22-year proven track record, unmatched by any CFO in the state. You just don't treat people like this, especially in Margate. And never in my 19 years of service have we operated in such a fashion. If the commissioners and administrator have an issue, it should be handled internally, where it can be heard and properly adjudicated. In fact, on several occasions, I asked the administrator to just allow Lisa to do her job. That has fallen on deaf ears. Further, when I requested that we hire a mediator to help, the administrator lost his temper, threatened me, and stormed out of the meeting. Lisa and Scott were present, and they were shocked at the behavior, the outburst, and the act of insubordination. In my opinion, certainly not what is expected from a $150,000 a year professional. The incident was documented, and now I have a target on my back as well. We used to have an ethics board that handled matters and disputes such as these. It's not the state. Finally, this complaint is riddled with untruths and was not reviewed by me nor the solicitor prior to being sent as a threat and ultimatum to Lisa's attorney. Many of the actions listed in the complaints against Lisa were sanctioned and pre-approved by me as the commissioner in charge of the department. These documents are factually incorrect and need to be rescinded. It is my hope that this situation can be resolved internally before we spend thousands of dollars on legal fees and a drawn-out fight that could yield millions of dollars in consequential and punitive damages awarded to the employee should she decide to sue us over these false accusations. That's all I have. Thank you.
May I respond? I guess I can. So, the veteran administrator that you spoke of, and I'm assuming that's Mr. Rich Deeney, and I think you've also brought this up previously. Mr. Deeney,
Mr. Deeney has been rice notice, so be careful what you say
he's not an
about him.
employee.
He's not an
Current
employee.
But
Okay. So the former administrator, which was improperly hired, which was a violation of the public contracts law, didn't have a professional services contract. The public was led to believe that he was a savings, when in fact, I believe that the city spent almost $180,000 with his private company on top of what he was getting. So the veteran administrator, I'm not so sure was on the up and up. The several times that you actually said to leave Lisa alone were also documented. No point of being at odds with her. You just got to learn to deal with her. Leave her alone. You won't fare well with her if you try to discipline her. No investigation or discipline for other employees, and refuse to take action for an employee violating policy. There were several emails, and I have them right here. Several times I contacted you via phone, and you blocked me from actually conducting an investigation or for me to even bring forward allegations of wrongdoing. As far as a target on your back, in December, I believe, December 14th, you came to me about a bid spec that you wanted changed because the company you wanted to get didn't get it. You wanted me to change that. And I wouldn't. I contacted the solicitor immediately. You can verify that with him. I sent an email. Our QPA was also present and saw the same thing and experienced the same thing, and actually sent an email to our solicitor as well. So as far as the target on your back, that has nothing to do with this. That has something to do with your own issue in trying to manipulate a bid process. And as a matter of fact, if anybody wants to go back and look at that meeting, they could see that Mr. Blumberg actually lost his temper there. We went into closed session, and not only did he repeat as to why he thought that we should be hiring this, he also admitted that that company worked in his personal business and cleaned for his company outside of Margate, which should have excluded him from even having a vote for it. As far as the charges against the employee, I have approximately 60 to 65 emails and documentation to prove what I have written or what I've sent to Mr. Blaney. With regard to not being notified, everybody was sent the same email, and I believe it was probably 11:20 on the night before it was sent to Mr. or the employee's attorney. For whatever reason, I couldn't get it up on my phone. But that was forwarded to me after it was forwarded to me by Mr. Blaney. We worked on it. He contacted me and I sent it right out. So you were notified. Did I discuss the matter with you? No. You've already attempted to keep me from doing my job. You've harassed me. You have threatened me. And the day that I got up and walked out of the meeting, I advised you simply of that I put you on notice and you didn't like it. You asked for my resignation because you said that I lied about something, which was blatantly not true. I have that email as well. You have been antagonistic back in December, after we did not change the bid specs as you requested, told me to stop calling you every night, that you did not want to talk to me at night, at home, which cut off communication. And I think at that point, I don't think it's fair, I don't think it's even necessary to go further with this. It's quite obvious to see that, especially in one of these cases, you're intricately involved. I mean, one of these cases, we are saying that she had knowledge that it was illegal to pay an employee without a license and continue to do so for 8 months, costing about $106,000. That employee is no longer with us. He's retired since. But those numbers were also certified to pension. And she's the certifying pension officer. And those numbers could be considered inaccurate. And you're intricately involved in that whole situation. As a matter of fact, we ended up paying that employee a payout because you offered him the ability to pay his fine. And you were the reason we had to do a settlement for it. You have consistently had issues with me for trying to do the right thing. Now, you can paint me out the way you want, but there's significant evidence here that points to wrongdoing. And that itself should go to an administrative law judge and let them decide. Thank you.
That's it.
Okay,
Shall
may I have a
we go-
motion to go into closed session to discuss possible?
One more thing. I did want to verify something else. When I first got here, as far as management and stuff, I know Mr. Blumberg had mentioned something earlier. When I first got here, I was met by multiple employees about a stipend that was taken by our CFO. And that stipend was determined to be illegal by 3 different attorneys, including our solicitor. And that was approximately, I think it was an estimated $8,700. I don't have the exact figures in front of me, but I think she collected $6,300 of it and was not required to give that money back. She took that money, in addition to what she said were her duties, to do payroll, which falls under the purview of the CFO. It would be like the chief of police getting paid a stipend to go out and direct traffic. And then, not only did she give herself that, award it to herself without approval, you then approved it a month later, from what I understand. Now, I wasn't here or present for that, so I can't actually testify to that, but I'm being told that you had said that you approved that a month after after she implicated it, or she put it into place herself.
You done?
Yes.
We're going to make motion now. We're going to go into closed session to discuss further action. There's no public comment.
May I have a motion to go into executive session approving resolution number 258-2025?
Motion.
Second.
Mayor Collins?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
No.
Commissioner Horn?
Yes.
Okay, at this time, I must ask everyone to leave.
Yeah, but I've never been in a place where somebody could say, testify for an attorney, and an attorney would say whether it's true or not.
You can. You gotta be here for one. All right, is there a motion to come out of closed session?
Motion.
Second.
Mayor Collins?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg? Yes. Commissioner Horn?
Yes.
There it is. We've determined to come out of closed session. This will move forward. I can let it go now? Okay. Mr. Blaney and I will be Mr. Blaney and I will be meeting with Commissioner Blumberg first thing Monday morning, 9 o'clock,
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock, at which City Hall? Union Avenue, right? And then we will be meeting, Blaney and I will be meeting the attorney for Lisa at 1 o'clock. The complaint is basically ready to go, but Commissioner Plummer wants to go through some of the provisions with Mr. Blaney and maybe make some corrections. And then at that point, after our meeting, we will, unless there's some resolution there, the complaint will be filed. That's it.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
Mayor Collins?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes?
Commissioner Horn? Yes.